and nobody can knock off his horse except that one game.
No,
and it's just remarkable.
The Giants are for real. We're back. We're talking about the Giants. It is remarkable what the Giants have done. It really is. And he doesn't get enough pub, man. I try to spread it to the masses on this podcast all the time. He doesn't get enough love, the Giants.
And the thing is about the Giants is I've never heard a bad word about his gameplay. I've never heard a bad word about his ownership. I mean,
no.
The guy goes under the radar. He plays by the books. He's a great owner. You don't really see him on the boards too much.
He checks in just enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, if some of the guys can just look at this guy and take something from him, and the Giants would be a perfect owner.
Yeah, but I think, we talked about it. What do you do? What do you do to stop the Giants? Okay, we talked about taking one thing away. That's what defenses should really focus on, because if you take one thing away, you can really confuse an owner. If you would have played the Giants, I know you did last year, what do you take away from the Giants? If you could take one thing away, just completely wipe it out, have a Darren McFadden type game. Do you take it away on the run? Do you take it away in the pass?
I would try to just shut down Knicks.
Shut down Knicks? So you
keep him down within 100 yards,
So if you do that,
nuts.
If you do that, he runs. So you're okay giving up the rushing yards as long as you keep Knicks down. See, that's the problem. What do you do? Or do you play more of a balanced game and you say, I try to stop everything? But the problem is he's so good at dissecting you. I don't know what you do against that guy. And, the truth is, I don't think a lot of people know what to do against that guy.
No, obviously not.
But he still doesn't get talked about. It's amazing, man. He's only lost, two? What's his record this year?
He's 5-0.
5-0 again?
Yep.
So he's only lost one game since the league started. One game since the league started. Not the season, the league started. And we don't talk about this guy. He should have his own show. We should run it an hour show just about the Giants.
Exactly.
I mean, he'd love it, but I'm not sure everyone else would, and that's probably the reason we don't do it. But, the guy deserves more credit than any owner in this league. I'm sorry. Look at the results. And tell me that guy doesn't deserve credit.
Yep.
We played some rapid fire last week when we did some playoff and contenders and we did some pretenders. This week I want to play some rapid fire. Just ask you some questions and see what you think. Tim Tebow in the game. Now a lot of times he gets spoken about in real life. He's a winner. He's this. He's that. In the game, could he win a Super Bowl?
I played a game with him.
I know you did. That's why I figured you could answer it.
I have a hard time with the lefty throwing.
Yeah.
I like the playbook the Broncos use.
Yeah, it's a very good playbook. I used it.
Yeah, I like the playbook. You kind of have to master it to get it good, I believe.
Yep.
I believe it. I just picked it up and just tried it, and I did okay. But I think if you mastered it and you knew the real positives on the playbook and where to throw it and where not to, I think it could be a deadly playbook. And with him, it could be a deadly. The one thing that you would want, and one thing I would need with the Broncos would be a better tight end.
Yeah.
I would want that check down tight end, just a big, the big good catch, You don't have to go Gate style, but, maybe more like the Finley,
Well, isn't that interesting you say that? Because what did he do? What was his big splash in the free agency?
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez.
He went out and got Tony Gonzalez. So
yeah, see, that I would like.
Yeah, see, that tells you how owners think, and not to say the Broncos owner is the same as Stocks, but he just said he would go out and get a tight end, with the team constructed the way it is. So what's the Broncos do? He goes out and gets the tight end. The one thing I do better with throwing quarterbacks than I do with running quarterbacks. Not for the fact, you can run and get, 40, 100 yards. I just like the idea of running and scrambling. I think it eliminates my thought process a lot when I play. Because when you're rolling out, you can only throw to that side of the field. You know, the other side of the field is kind of eliminated by your own admission. So it makes it easier to process who I'm going to throw to. And if there's no one there, then you run, you know. So that's my kind of guy. But when you have running quarterbacks, a lot of times you have left-handed guys. I think Vic is a left-handed guy. Tebow's a left-handed guy. I think Vince Young might even be left-handed. So when you have running quarterbacks, most of them are left-handed. So that's, know how to do that. I'm going to stay away from Manny. Manny doesn't get any more talk this week. Dallas, Washington. That's really interesting to me, this matchup. And I want to ask you some questions on that if I can, Stocks.
Sure.
What do you think the Redskins is this season? He's 3-2. Granted, one wins against me, so I don't know how much merit you can put that under. But he's very. And then you got the Cowboys, who's 1-4, and the Cowboys are he's a late game performer, man. I don't know what he does, but in the first part of the season, I don't know what he's on, what he does. He does pretty much the same thing statistically, so I don't know what it is. He's never started a season good, and I'm like, oh my God, if he could ever start a season good, he'd be great. Remember last season he was trying to wholesale his team, trying to get rid of DeMarcus Ware. Is this the season where you get rid of something if you're the Cowboys? We said no on DeMarcus Ware. I'm not saying DeMarcus Ware. I'm talking blockbuster move. Is this the season you say, you know what, I'm wiping my Cowboys. I'm making that big move. Now, he did get Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think that's a huge move. Maybe it is.
No, because you still have Tony Romo on the roster.
Yeah.
I know you, from what you've been saying, that he's not the biggest Tony Romo fan. So he's kind of in flux at the quarterback position, and that.
Well,
when you have that fluctuation of the seesaw battle, it's not good to get your team in a rhythm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you have two different. They're somewhat similar in style, but I guarantee you, Fitzpatrick and Romo have those different attributes that are better than one player than the other. Which, when you move with the offense, maybe Romo does something better at some specific thing than Fitzpatrick does, and vice versa. Fitzpatrick probably runs the ball better out of the pocket. You know what I mean? So.
Well, Fitzpatrick is definitely more conservative, and I think that fits Runner's style because he's a run first guy. So all he really needs his quarterback to do is be serviceable. Now that offers another question because he's a real Cowboys fan in real life, so he's used to the seesaw battle. Here's the really good Tony Romo. Here's the really bad Tony Romo. He's used to that. So I think he'd give Tony Romo another shot this year. Do you run it almost a 2-quarterback system?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
No. And I wouldn't trade Des Bryant. I would have never traded Des Bryant.
Yeah. That goes back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about trades, London Fletcher was traded this afternoon to the Cincinnati Bengals for a second-round draft pick. And the Bengals traded away defensive tackle Pat Sims, 81 B potential, away for a second-round pick. So basically, he traded a second-round pick and got it right back from the Colts. So everyone's kind of said, well, what's that trade? Was it a good trade? Was the second too much? I personally like the trade. Because
Fletcher's retiring after this year.
Yeah. Well, I like it for one reason, because the Bengals, he's going out to win. I mean, he made the playoff last year. He wants to improve. He wants to make the playoffs again. For a guy like me, who maybe I'm still fighting for the division and haven't learned what I need to learn in that division to be competitive. But I'm a different story from this guy. This guy knows what it takes to go to the playoffs. So getting a veteran guy like that is, I would do it. You need some veteran guys on that team. That team is really young. Now everyone's like, a second is too much, maybe a third. But the point is, he felt like he needed him. I don't think he overpaid for him that much. I really don't. because it's going to be a late second round pick, I think, maybe mid second round pick. It's not going to be, and even so, there's a big discrepancy between the first round and the second round, in my opinion, and there always will be. But London Fletcher, for one season, he can play. He can really ball, man. It amazes me how old he is too, and he can still play. But he can still play. So, do you make that trade?
Yeah, if I was the Cincinnati Bengals, I would just, get that little depth of speed on, short tackling.
Yep.
On the defensive side to help Cincinnati D.
No, one thing, he might have lost his step. He might not be as fast as he used to be, but he can still break down a play really well. His awareness, I'm not looking at stats, just going off, real life.
Oh, yeah, high 90s.
Yeah, he's awareness. And I'll tell you what, I play with Vandenbosch, who's not fast anymore, who can't, but I'll tell you what, that awareness and that play recognition really, really pays off this season. I don't know how or what. He's not fast, but I'll tell you what, when he recognizes a play, he's in there like a shark. And I think London Fletcher could do similar things for a young team. Because you look at it, they're really young. They're really quite young. I think it's a good move. Second round pick or not, when you believe in a player, you got to go out and get him, man. That's my philosophy. And obviously he believes in him. Anything else you want to hit on?
No, not off the top of my head.
I think we're good, man.
Sounds good, brother.
The thing I wonder is, what happened to the Eagles, man? He's still in flux, man. Still in flux, and we don't know what he is. He has one good week.
I would love to have that team for a season. I just would love to have those weapons.
I'd love to have that guy on for an interview or something because I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying he doesn't have that. He does great things, and you're like, okay, he's arrived. And then he's a lot like the Kansas City Chiefs to me. He really is. They have these great teams. Well, I mean, obviously there's no comparison in talent because
Lloyd's been around for a while. Lloyd has been,
he's been
on 11 with us and been a solid. I mean, he's an old timer.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy, and he's been through some wars.
Yeah.
But I'd have to put the Kansas City Chiefs over the Eagles if I was doing a power ranking for this fact.
Oh yes, no doubt about it.
They were similar, a few like maybe this season. But what did Lord do? He went out and got that statement win. Now you can only play who's on your schedule, but what's the Eagles' record right now?
2-2.
Where's that statement going to come from? I know you're in a tough division. You're going to have some losses. That's fine. So does Kansas City. But he got that statement win against the Cowboys. And I know you play your schedule, but still, that statement win's got to come this year. And, we're always so critical on this team, but when you have so much talent, it's not even that. When you can do so many things, the Michael Vick can run and pass. That's hard to defend. One of the hardest things to defend, I think, in Madden. When you got a quarterback who can throw like that and run. Okay? When you got a guy who can break ankles pretty much in McCoy. I mean, when you got, and it's not like he's got to play conservative. He's got some pretty good backups. I mean, Ronnie Brown, Vince Young. Now, you don't want them for the whole season, but if you have to, they're serviceable. You could use them. So there's no point in being conservative. I want to see that smackdown win from the Eagles this year. I'm calling him out a little bit. I mean, I know he's a great owner. I know he can do some good things, but I need that defining win, man. That thing says, I'm here, you're there, and I don't see it, man. He's kind of floating around.
We haven't seen it. I mean, on defense, when you have Asamoah, Woodson, and Cromartie. I mean, at cornerbacks. Cromartie's your third
Does he have Cromartie?
cornerback at 89.
He has, sorry for your correction, it's Rogers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rogers Cromartie, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, but that's, in this league, in season 2, he should be better than his cousin. So, he's younger,
It's just remarkable how you have those three cornerbacks and not putting up shutouts. You know what I mean?
Hey man, I'm not hating on the Eagles, and you're not hating on them. It's just when you look at the talent discrepancy every week, and you're like, wow, there hasn't been that wow moment from the Eagles, and we're still waiting. And we're still waiting, and I think it could happen, but if it doesn't happen, it's still one of those things. I All I'll say about this game, I'm trying to come up with headlines, trying to come up with fun things. Okay, have fun in a Jacksonville, a Houston game. Have fun, guys. That's all I'll say about it.
Just play a clean game. Kind of forget about what happened, whatever. Just play by the rules, man.
The best way to forget about a game is to go out there and be competitive and have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Hey, I want you guys to laugh about this game twice. I don't care if you talk about it. Sometime in the game, I want both of you to start laughing. I don't care if you gotta drink that lemon juice, Alex. Do something.
There you go. Break it out.
Do whatever you have to do, man. Somebody has to laugh in that game because this game, at the end of the day, it's all about fun. And if you're not having fun, I don't know what you're doing, man. So that's that. I'm trying to look at any more games. San Diego, Detroit, I really need to win. I need to win bad. I don't know if I can say anymore. But the matchup, the game I'm dying to see, the Falcons and the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find out who's for real, man. And this is a big game for you.
The thing is we're new. You know what I mean? It's a divisional rival, but none of us have played each other, so we don't know each other's styles.
You're used to that being me across the field.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not getting me. This guy puts up a lot of points, and that's not my style. But
I know it's going to be a tough game. Trust me.
Well, if you win, you're 3-2 with the Falcons. If you lose, you're 2-4, and he's 4-2.
It's a pivotal game.
It really is. And, this week doesn't look like a pivotal week. You got some guys who play in divisions like Manny and Minnesota. That's a divisional game. Houston and Jacksonville, Dallas and Washington. We got a lot of divisional games on the docket. And it's the time you start shaping up, man. That's why this win, being out of the division, is really, really important for me. Because if you're not going to win, I need to win divisional games, but you need to pick up those games that you need to pick up the games where okay, I'm not playing in the division. Hopefully with that West Coast style, he doesn't come out and punch me in the mouth. So I can kind of sit back there, California sun it up a little bit, and have some fun. Because I'll tell you what, I'm sick of those divisional games where I get blasted, I get hit, guys are out for the season. I feel like I have broken ribs, my controller is all dented up. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean? It's nice to get out of the division a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Change it up a little bit.
And I'll tell you what, with everyone else playing in the division, it's great. And this is an opportunity for me, man. The Bears lost this week. The Packers lost this week. If I want to be in that race, I gotta win this game.
You just gotta get on the board. You know what I mean? You can't lay back no more. You need to put a good game together. Well, and have Stafford come out, decent.
It's no secret, man. My defense, I revamped my defense, man. Revamped it, did a whole new system, whole new, philosophy. Because I was like, you know what? I'm sick of just sitting back. I mean, defensively, I was horrible. I'm 29th in total yards defensively. I mean, I give up 414 yards. But I shared it up in that one game. And I tell you what, more than anything, I just come after you now, man. If you want to burn me, fine. But, I'm going to come after you and whack you. Because I've almost got a mob mentality, man. If you want to get me, that's okay. But I'm going to come at you guns blazing and see what I can get.
Is your cornerback, Ambles, living up to his first round?
Yeah. I don't think his stats really have shown what he can do, just because against Manny week 1 he didn't pass to him. I don't think at all. He didn't pass in his direction. He pretty much locked down Jennings. Second matchup, I put him on the tight end. Tight end had a few catches. He's had one interception. The one thing I'm really happy with Ambles, he can tackle, man. he can tackle. So when you pitch it out to the outside, he really comes up in pursuit, and he makes it. Now he's only 77 in B potential, and I did take him really high, and everyone's like you reached for him, and yeah I did, but I didn't reach for a bad player. I think I reached for a need, and a player who can really help.
Yeah, if you have a need in if you're going to pass on that need and you're going to fill a void that you already have, it's like, all right, I'm going to take another defensive tackle. No, no,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Or no, I need another wide receiver. No, I mean, yeah, you can go other ways, but you know what you need on your board.
Yeah.
And I don't believe a first round would be a reach if you are desperate for a cornerback and you know that cornerback's not coming back to you.
My starting corner, my number one corner, isn't on my roster anymore. That tells you how bad my number one corner was. He's not on my roster anymore. Chris Houston's not on my roster anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely gone, So that tells you how big of a need it was. It wasn't like, oh, this guy, he's not a number one guy, he's a number two guy. In the game of Madden, with the updates we have, Chris Houston was useless to me. With the style I want to run, and that he's allowed me to do the things I want to do on defense, and to me that's worth it. His stats, I don't care what they are, to be honest. As long as he does what I need him to do, and he has. He's been able to man up when he needs to man up. I tell you what, he's better in zone than he is man, and I haven't had to use him in zone much because I'm so impressed with his man coverage. I haven't, but I like it because he can change it up when I need him to. But he's been impressive. Now I beat the Chargers last year, and he didn't have that good a year last year. I think we got to start talking about the Chargers a little bit. I mean, I know he's 2-2, but this guy, he didn't win very many games at all last season. I mean, I know he doesn't do much on the run. He's 22 against the run, but he's 6th in the pass. He's 6th in first downs. 8th and third downs. This is a different team I'm facing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in that game. I think we're good on time and everything. If you want to break something else down, but I think we covered everything, man. I think we did a good job.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Everybody, enjoy the holiday coming up. If we don't get a podcast in,
That's why. I mean, hey, man, just have fun. Just be cool. And I think if anything, come on if you can. If you can, it's okay. But this holiday season, just be safe, man. That's the number one thing.
Definitely.
Peace out, fellas.
All right, peace out.